Alright, let's talk about Y by YSL Eau De Parfum Intense. I've been really itching to get my nose on this one. It sounds great. Now, I've been really interested to get my hands on this one because apparently this one smells the best out of the entire lineup, and the projection is also one of the best in the entire lineup. So I've been very interested to see how this one performs and how it smells. Now, this is a 2 fluid ounce bottle. I've never smelled it before, so wanted to go ahead and get the smaller bottle just to see what I think of it before I go full send, because I've heard this one isn't as sweet as the typical ones, and I kind of like that sweet note that the other ones have, as I believe this one takes out the apple note that a lot of the other Ys have. But on the back we just have our ingredients. Here's my batch code. Now, typical designer fashion, it's nothing crazy, just your cologne in the box, no special or fancy presentation. But here's the bottle, very pretty. Very deep blue, looks great. Of course, on the side we have the Y logo that comes all the way around with Yves Saint Laurent in text. And then on the top we have the YSL logo. In typical YSL fashion, not magnetic. I would have liked to see magnetic, but no problem. It's still a pretty secure cap. You don't have to worry too much. Without further ado, let's strain out the atomizer. And let's get to spraying. Very good atomizer. I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. This definitely deviates the most out of all of the colognes in the lineup. This smells slightly fresh. Very irisy, powdery, sweet, slight amount of fruit, not too much, slightly shower jelly, but still fairly luxurious. This one's the most niche smelling out of them all. Smells the most different for sure. I'm not a huge fan of this one, personally. I wouldn't say it's more mature, but it almost seems like it lacks the character that the other ones have by taking out that apple note. Now, everybody has their own opinion. A lot of people said that this one was better. That's why I went ahead and grabbed this one over the Eau De Parfum, as I'd never tried the Eau De Parfum. I have the Le Parfum and I have the Eau Fraiche, and I also own the Eau De Toilette back when it first dropped. So when I saw everybody was glazing the EDP Intense, I said, let me grab a bottle. Alright, so I just finished dealing Y EDP Intense. My thoughts are as follows. This is a decent cologne. I don't think it's anything special. I think it's one of the weakest ones, if not the weakest one in the entire Y lineup. I bought into the hype, you know, I saw so many YouTubers saying this was the best one to get, and I already have Le Parfum, but I was like, you know what, I might as well try this one. Instead, I could have gotten the Eau De Parfum for the same price. I paid $73 for this. This isn't even worth $73. It's an extremely powdery cologne, and I'm pretty sure that's because they use a different lavender. This one, they're using a hybrid lavender called Provençal lavender, compared to all the other ones where they use standard lavender. And obviously this took out the apple note that's used in all the other Ys, so there's that as well. The lavender that they're using in this is extremely powdery, and it just makes the scent almost off-putting for me. It literally smells like 60% Y and then 40% powdery notes. It's not a very pleasant opening at all. It gets much better as it dries down. The lavender note starts to really weaken very quickly. It becomes more of a sweet, fresh, fruity cologne, but even then, it's still not that great. I would still give it like a 7.3, 7.4 out of 10. For the price you're paying, there's so many better colognes. Not that this one is bad or anything, but there's just better options. You're better off getting the Eau De Parfum for the same price. And the opening is bad, though. I'll say that. The opening is bad on this. I wouldn't recommend it for the opening at all. It's one of those colognes that starts off bad, but then ends up getting better. But it doesn't really hit any peaks or anything. There's never a time where I would say, oh, this is such a good cologne. It gets better, but even spraying it on a test strip, I noticed that it smells like a brand new car interior. Once it dries down on the test strip, that's when it starts to smell really fruity, berry-like, which it does have juniper berry in the top notes. It starts to smell citrusy, fruity, and a little bit sweet. Then just a hint of wood in there, but overall, I'm not a fan of this one. I think this is probably the worst I've smelled out of the entire Y lineup. I would say Elixir is a close second, but this definitely takes the cake for the worst Y cologne I've smelled. For the same price as a 3 fluid ounce bottle of this, you can literally go to a discounter and purchase Versace Pour Homme, Coach Green, and Coach Open Road for the price of one. So 3 great colognes for the price of this. It's just so many better options, guys.